So I'm now at 37 minutes in this documentary, and yeah, it's clear that this guy that waterboarded or had water thrown in his face was actually a pretty terrible person, because he tried to beat up someone who was a lot younger than him. He put him in a he called his mum a white slag, was trying to put him in a knuckle thing, and he was pulled off him. I think he was punching him, but he was pulled off him by an older kid, and that was how he broke his arm. But the media changed it and started saying that he was, I don't even know if you could blame the media for this, though, because Tommy said that this family was trying to use this incident as a way of getting better housing, more facilities, and he was saying that I'm going to kill myself unless I bring all my brothers and sisters over here, and yeah, this is... Problems happen in the Middle East. Now, do you know why I think they happen? They happen because people like kids start accusing other people of having mums that are white slags or Muslim slags or whatever. No one likes their parents to be insulted in that way, and they have fights and stuff, and then they become a target by people who want to attack him. Now, if these refugees are coming over here on the pretense that, oh, I'm innocent, my life's in danger in this country, maybe the only reason why your life's in danger in these countries is because you were attacking people and you were saying lots of shit, and then you were changing it to make yourself seem like a victim. And if that's to me, this is what it sounds like. It sounds like this family were a bunch of bullies living in Syria, threatening to beat people up and beating people up and becoming aggressive and attacking people. Maybe the son is copying the father who's called Jihad, which is a big telling sign name on that. But yeah, it sounds to me like they might have actually been causing problems in Syria, and this is the reason why their life was in danger. Not because they were good people just running away from bad people, but rather because they were bad people that were getting real threats from other people who recognized them as being bad people and wanted to attack them. And then they've come to England on the pretense that they are good, hard-working people, and then they had this incident, and they've managed to go to the media, get the media to hear only their side of the story. The media has not bothered to look at that you need to hear two sides of the story. I think the journalists and the media really are stupid in how they approach things, because they like to take one side. This is how the media has always been. They like to take one side, hear one side of the story, side with one side and narrative. When I went to that protest, there was someone who I was trying to get into the crowd, and then I kind of saw the camera crew filming. She was asking someone if they wanted to film, and I was kind of like, I want to film. And then I don't know, but I felt like she wasn't there because she was actually agreeing with the people in the public. It sounded more like, it felt to me like she was there more because she didn't agree with them, and she just wanted to find people to shame. That's kind of, I don't know if that was the truth or not, but it felt like I said a couple of things, but I didn't know if I should say a couple of things, because in the back of my mind I was trying to understand her point of view. Why was that woman who interviewed me, it was only about a minute, I didn't say that much, but I was in the back of my mind thinking, why is she here? Is she here because she wants to make us all look like racist shitheads? If that was the reason, then I don't care. She can make me look like a racist shithead, because I know that my spirit is just going to attack anyone that agrees with that. So I have no problem with that. But other people do not have that spirit in them, and therefore, one-sided media is a really big problem. And if someone is saying this person attacked me, and then I had a broken arm, oh yeah, because this person has attacked me before, and it turns out that actually no, that person got a broken arm. The person who was attacked got a broken arm because he was actually attacking someone else. That arm being in a sling is actually is proof that he was a bully, and that what happened to him, which was a really minor, small attack. So it really feels like they've just blown up something tiny and turned it into something massive. But yeah, he had a broken arm from him beating up someone who was younger than him, and and Tommy was saying that they were trying to give a false story, make him look like the victim, make him look like this bigger racial abuse was happened, and maybe the 50 Islamic adults that showed up at his school to condemn this bullying of this racist kid, maybe they were there not because they knew the truth, but because this idiot, nasty jihadist father actually managed to spawn up a group of Islamists saying, my kid's a good son, he worships Allah, he's a good guy, and look, we've got this racist at this school, so let's go to this school, stir up a big problem, and then we can turn to the council and try and use it as an excuse to get a bigger house, more funding. We need money for sympathy money, or what's it, victimhood money or something. There are people that do this. And if the refugees that are coming into this country are only coming into this country on the false pretense that their life is in danger, when really they were the ones that were causing other people's lives to be in danger, have the government really done this checks, or are they just believing anything that is being told because they look at the good people in England and think, we're not full of liars, so these people aren't full of lies and stuff, and really they are full of lies. And if the media is only wanting to report one-sided stories and not actually do the facts or do the proper research, and if other media come in and start saying, they aren't reporting the facts, they aren't reporting the truth, the police then can't come and say this is a breach of peace, because he's actually correcting the media for what the mistakes they're making. And if the media are just too blind to refuse to believe it, this doesn't fit my narrative, this goes against what, this proves that we're a bad journalist. I feel like the media are becoming very selfish in this. We report this news, we have the facts, we have the truth. Now if someone wants to come with different truths, we're going to ignore what the truth is. We're not going to ignore the fact that they might be right. The same thing happened with the post office. There's the problem with those faults in the system, and it looked like people were stealing the money when really the calculations were just being recorrected, and money was going missing because it was never corrected, it was never evaluated properly in the first place. But instead of blaming the system, everyone wanted to blame the people. And this similar problems keep happening. If media have a belief that they have got the fact right, and then someone tries to prove actually that you haven't got the facts right, to think that you can get the police or get the government to get the police to turn against you. This is how you use the police to actually become criminals, because you believe that you have the truth, so much so that you're willing to get the police or get the courts to turn on the people that actually have the truth. I feel like my sister's partner has done the same thing with my mum. There was a alleged small incident where my mum, or where he pushed one of them out of the flat when she was trying to get access and custody to see the child. And this has turned into a 5-year case. Now I don't know why it's been going on for 5 years, but my mum's still getting letters from the court saying that this is an ongoing thing, and my mum's mad, and she's going through a huge amount of fucked up problems in her head because of all this constant bombardment and belittlement from the courts saying that she's an aggressive person, and really George is the one that's using the courts to attack her, and the courts are just being so blind and so like, oh, give me money, the government's paying for my salary, the government's paying for all this work of me, and we have to accuse these people who are aggressive, attacking bullies, when really the courts are actually being the bully and the attacker, and they're being bullied by the person who's doing the accusing. I feel like there's so many people that are nasty, aggressive people, and they're actually just using the police and using the court system as a way of being a bigger bully. They're not bullying them directly, but they're bullying them through the court system and through the police system. And when you've got police that are just like robots, just doing whatever their commander says, and when the commander just listens to whatever the one-sided views are, or the people that have the money, or the media that only want to tell their one side of the story, even though they might actually be shamed and belittled for only having one side of the story and not correcting and not telling the truth about what's going on. Whatever happens, my sister's ex-partner, I don't know why my mum is still getting constant bombardment of letters saying that they haven't received her statement, even though I'm sure she sent it like 3 or 4 times, and it's only about a tiny minor incident that happened 5 years ago. I mean, this is a total abuse of the court system. It's a total abuse of the police system. And I feel like there are so many people that are happy to use the police and use their court systems as a way of attacking other people, even though the other people are actually in the right. And these people are believing that they are in the right because they believe that they are taking a one-sided approach, which is to side with whoever's making the accusation. The person that is getting abused by both the person who's making the accusations and the police force and the court system, and the government is just siding with whoever the police force take. And I don't think they're acknowledging the fact that actually there could be a bunch of morons in the police force. There could be a bunch of morons in the government. There could be a bunch of morons and morons are just taking over the world because they're assuming that people wouldn't accuse others if there's no reason to accuse them. And I feel like an accuser is actually someone is far more in the wrong. You know, when I was in the steam room with that woman I had that 60-second argument with, you know, I felt like I was in the right because I was the one who was God. I was the one who knows who Allah is. I was the one who invented Islam, and she was the one who was uneducated for not knowing anything about her. But she, according to the message that I got from, you know, she was the one who made the accusation, and therefore she is the one who turned me into the bad one simply by making the allegation, when really I think she was incredibly petty to even want to make that allegation in the first place, because a real person with real truth wouldn't bother thinking that I need to go and get other people to attack them. They would attack them themselves, but they're not willing to attack them themselves. Why? Because subconsciously they know that they're wrong, so they go to the higher authority assuming that the higher authority is going to be a bigger mouth and a bigger abuser, and they are becoming a big abuser. Why? Because these higher authorities are just taking whoever makes an allegation on anything, and they're saying, you know what, we're going to side with them. Why? Because they're the ones that are making allegations. They wouldn't be making an allegation unless they were right, so we're going to use our power and our abuse to attack those, even though we are actually the ones in the right, in the wrongful, because we are the ones who are siding with the person who's making the accusing people, when really the only reason why they're accusing these people is because they're not in the right, and they know it, and they're feeling it, and they're going to a higher power because they're just wanting to get justification for their wrong beliefs. Okay, I'm talking way too much.